Alright! It feels nice to actually be able to start here for once, instead of having to go back to the title screen for some stupid reason. And, well, there's not too much left to get. Only 2 more things. I know, oh, 3 things. And I know where 2 of those things are. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, indeed. That makes it not sound promising. But if I check everything else, Criteria is done, Bridstar is done, Crane is done, Norfair is done, and Ridley's done, and Torian is done. Yep, all that's left is this area. Alright, so, we only have a few things left to get, and then we can basically make our way to the end of the game. Oh yeah, we're gonna kill these things now, too. Oh, it's so much better I can actually kill these assholes. It feels so much better. Well, good. I'm sick and tired of them spying on me anyway. Frickin' pirates. They're just looking to cop a feel. Not gonna let them do that again. Oh, crap. And I activated the alarm anyway. Excuse me. Do you mind? I'm trying to think about how to escape from you assholes. And you're not helping in any way. Ugh. Frickin' space pirates are the worst. I'm gonna say sometimes. All the time, damn it. All the time. Well, and again, that's what they do. They're just terrible. They just try to be terrible, and they're very good at it. Ow! Excuse me! Do not try to shoot me through the wall. Wait, where is this thing, anyway? Ah! Oh, it's dead center. God damn it. Well, at least I found you. Yeah, this is what I had to come back all the way this way for. Really annoying, I know. Well, with that, we only got 2 more upgrades. One of them I need to realize where they are. That's a little disappointing. Well, let's look for it. So anyway, welcome back, everybody, to... Well, I guess this is technically going to be the finale. Let's play Metroid Zero Mission. This is your host, MJ406. And, well, all that's really left is just sorting out the rest of the power-ups. And once we do that, we are ready to go to the end. Because, well, yeah, nothing's better than getting to the end of a Metroid game when you are absolute full power. That's when it feels like you are, well, playing a Metroid game at its absolute best. When you get to make the absolute most of Samus's arsenal. Oh, it makes it so much more fun when you're at absolute power. Alright, yeah, you guys are great and all, but I'm not looking forward to dealing with you guys. Seriously, do you guys, like... I don't know, I was trying to... Ooh, hang on, what's that? That could explain what I'm missing. Son of a bitch! Ooh, wow. Lucky search. Lucky guess. Oh, man. Embarrassing it took me that long to find that one. Well, hey, at least I found it, and that was a pure guess. I had a feeling something was there, though. Good things come to those that guess. Yeah, let's go with that. Good things come to those that guess. Which reminds me, since I'm thinking about it, since we don't have that much more to this episode, since I found everything but one item, I wanted to go over one thing. So, in case you're wondering, like, I have this screw attack through this. What if you didn't have screw attack? Well, you can also use your missiles to find ways through here, too. This game is actually pretty weird, which I am going to go over in the next episode. Yeah, even though it's the finale, we're going to have a bonus episode next time. I'm pretty sure I already said that, but... Yup. They have ways for you to get around things without the screw attack. There's reasons for that. I think I might have mentioned a little bit earlier throughout this playthrough that... Or maybe I didn't. That a lot of the powers of this game are actually optional. And that actually has to go with, some of the endings for this game, as a matter of fact. And again, one of the favorite things that people love to do in these games is, well, not only speed runs, but for some of the crazier of the community, low percent runs. The idea of trying to go through the game with as few items as possible. And, well, sometimes you may think, you know, maybe some of Samus's upgrades aren't necessary. And, well, you are probably right. Could you guys not kill me on my way through, please? No, I'm actually worried you guys are going to kill me. I'm just annoyed you guys are attempting to do so. And again, I'm somebody well, for the most part, has never really been into low percent runs, but I can see the appeal. It's really testing your skill, thinking, you know, how little do you need to actually get through this game? I think I mentioned it briefly, but I can go over an example. Metroid Fusion, I know the Japanese version of the game had ending screens for you getting through the 1% runs. But yeah, in case you aren't aware of what that means, basically, you went through Metroid Fusion, only getting one missile expansion and literally all the other power-ups granted to you, because the other upgrades did not count towards the percentage. It was only the actual, like, ammo expansions and energy tanks that contributed to your percentage completion. And, oh boy, some of them were just horrible. By which I mean the power-ups. Some of them were hard to avoid. You had to, like, really jump precisely. And, ow! Bro, that was pain. That was pain, bro. Not cool. And, well, yeah, let's just say, getting through some of that game with only 1% of your items basically not having enough to do anything. Oh, man. Some bosses would be terrible. Like the Nightmare and Ridley in Fusion was always terrible. Which I didn't even realize till I actually played the game again on my own. I was like, well, I guess I'll get through Ridley. He wasn't that much when I beat him the first time playing through the game, going for the channel. Or at least that was like the second or third time. Then I replayed it again, and, oh, yeah, I realized Ridley can wreck your shit. I mean, you can also, you know, lock him up if you use the beams well, but, you know, having to realize the limits you have in the game and being able to try to go against them, it can be a lot. But at the same time, it can also be very satisfying. You can pull it off. The Nightmare will always be one of my least favorite things, though. No matter how many times I play through that game, I'm never ready to deal with the Nightmare. Because that thing is always just a menace. Ugh. Fun game, though. I really do like Fusion more in this game. As weird as that sounds. I know I've always been talking a lot about how this is like a great first 2D Metroid game for somebody to get into, but like I said, it's a little nagging issues along the way that make you not like it as much as, well, yeah, Fusion. I mean, it is still fun, though. Definitely. I still, love this game. But yeah, anyway, get that 1%, 1% ending in Fusion is a friggin' nightmare in itself. What if you better said it was an SAX? That doesn't even make sense! Shut up! But yeah, that whole, oof, so much. As a matter of fact, I actually tried to do one of those, and it was very, very painful. I was actually kind of just doing it. I was even showing it to my friend Kingsley Rikoshi. He can tell you, yeah, it looks painful. There are like 3 bosses in particular that made an absolute nightmare. With, honestly, SAX not being one of them. Surprisingly enough. Even though it can basically one-shot kill you without any extra energy tanks on. As long as you get all the upgrades, it's fine. I'll say low percent run for this game is a little different, though. As you can probably imagine, I'm basically alluding to the fact, yes, there's a low percent run for this. And it can be kind of frightening. Also, here's the tunnel you can go through without the power bomb. Another example. If you don't have power bomb, you can still get through there. As weird as it sounds. Don't worry, it all makes sense. Also, if you're wondering where the last upgrade is, don't worry, I know where it is. It's literally all the way to the boss. If you're wondering what power-up I got before I got to the game for the end of the game for that one ending that, well, was over 2 hours and 82%, let me show you. And this one is also kind of a pain in the ass. Basically, you need to speed boost through here to have an opening. And you gotta go through that tunnel. You gotta do it the hard way and try to do great space jumps to go through, or do it my way. do a Shine Spark across, low to the ground. Ah! And attempt to at least, you know, get in there without much trouble. The problem is, though, well, you have to be at the right height. If you're too high, if you're too high, you'll hit a laser. And, well, I think it can also Shine Spark downwards. Let me make sure I can do that. No, you can't. You can only Shine Spark upward. Okay. But, yep, basically you have to try to blast through here all the way to the end of the path. And, well, if you can do that, you got this final energy tank. There we go. See, this is much easier than trying to do something like this. And avoiding that, yeah, I'd rather just Shine Spark through it. I feel like it was designed with that intention to give you the choice. If you really wanted to have to Shine Spark down there, it was much easier than attempting to actually precisely jump your way through. And with that, we finally have 100% of everything! We got every single item and every single locale. Oh, it's beautiful. And that means we're at 100%. So, it's time to beat up Mecha Ridley again. Awful scraping it takes to gets in here. Apparently Ridley developed this for, like, some sort of experiment, I don't know. But, well, whatever it was, he forgot to give it legs. Alright, fine. I'll kill you as quickly as I did before. Oh, what the? Damn it. Wait, you're not red yet. Oh, God! Oh, yeah! In case you're wondering why I was laughing at the idea of calling this thing a pushover, notice I'm pelted with like 10 super missiles already. Yeah, this thing got harder. So yeah, this is the one time in a Metroid game they do something like this. Where now they have 100% items, this boss is actually a real challenge. They actually gave it 3 times as much health and twice as much attack power if you come into this boss with 100%. So yeah, that's fun. Oh, you want the final boss to actually be hard if you got everything? Well, sure, here you go. It sucks, it's got a crazy arsenal. It's eye lasers, it's claw swiping down, missiles coming down. If you don't have a screw attack, this boss is a nightmare. But, you know, as long as you still hit it with super missiles in the right spot, you're good. It also has flames that shoot around. You've seen pretty much all of its attacks. It's just if it does multiple at once, it actually becomes a pain in the ass. The fact that it made it take longer to kill with all your upgrades on you, dick move, game. Dick move. Still not terrible now, but if you come with little items such as missiles and such, oh, it becomes terrible. Hey, how do you get... Oh, there's the way to cheat it. Oh, no, the alarm's always active. You just can't get that energy tank. Oh! Oh, I was thinking about it. I was like, you know, you can always just get the energy tank your way out. I forgot the alarm's active, so the walls are down, so you can't get the energy tank. They don't want you to get 100% after you beat the boss. That'd be way too easy. Oh, they block off the route for you to get the power bombs as well. I see. They really make it so you can't get any of the power-ups after you beat Mecha Ridley. Makes sense, I guess. Man, I really thought it'd be a great idea to go power-up hunting once the freaking countdown started. Yo, who actually would go on their way to try to do something like that? The place is blowing up in 5 minutes. I gotta get out of here. Wait, are there upgrades I missed? I should probably go get them. Bro, it's not worth it. Don't do it. But upgrades, no. It's a trap. Don't do it. For the love of God. Even though it's good for you, you will not attempt to do that. It's not worth it in the slightest. I would know. I am one of the victims of that kind of idea. Alright, let me see if I can show this off again. I'll give it one attempt, because I'm not trying to die in here. I imagine there might be a special cutscene for dying through the countdown, but I don't care that much to show it off, but... Oh! Damn it! Damn it, I almost had it too! Basically, I had to do that, and then, as soon as I got to this room, just jump down a bit, and then blast forward. And you basically blast this entire room with the speed booster. Damn! Oh, it's weird that I figured out in Metroid Fusion. Apparently, The Japanese version had difficulties ranging from easy to hard. Yet the international version only had the normal difficulty. I always thought that was strange. Probably another one of those things of, you know, Japanese developers not thinking that non-Japanese players can handle a higher difficulty. I mean, then again, considering how hard Fusion already was, I guess they're not wrong. Oh, God. Yeah, by the way, in case you're looking for a workaround to get through these black pirates, you do a method, and well, it's actually pretty scummy. You basically come up here and blast them while they try to climb the wall. You bottleneck yourself so that way they only have one round to get to you, and blast them as they come up. Apparently, like, right as they're at the edge of the cliff, if you keep shooting them, they'll keep trying to shoot back, even though they can't technically reach you. That's how you can exploit them, in case you have a lot of trouble with that segment in particular, because, like I said, some people say it's arguably the hardest part of the game, because you have to deal with those black pirates before you escape. And because they're so tanky, you have no knockback from you shooting them constantly. Yeah, they're debatably the hardest part of the game. That battle right there. Just terrible. Oh boy, cannot wait for the bonus episode for this next week. But until then, there you go, Samus. Now you are officially done with your mission. You got 100% of everything. I wonder what my overall time was. It was probably like 2 hours and 15 minutes or something. Or 2 hours, 20 minutes. I am not paying attention. Either way, now we've reached the end of Metroid Zero Mission. Sorry, talking about Fusion got me thinking about it. With 100% of the upgrades. I gotta say though, Zero Suit Samus being in this game only has impact on this area the first time. Once you get full power, you're spending more time being full-powered Samus if you're trying to get 100% than you are being Zero Suit. I say, Zero Suit Samus, I mean, it was nice to have, like, a weird, like... I guess it would have been interesting if you could, like, swap between Zero Suit and your Gravity Suit. But the only Metroid game that allowed you to, like, turn on and off some of your power-ups on the fly was Super Metroid. Where the first two original games, you could basically swap your beams, because that was all you could do to have different beams. Super Metroid allowed you to turn on or off whatever you wanted. Which did make for some interesting combos. Especially once you realize Plasma and Spacer could be on at the same time, and you could cheat to try to have both of them on at once, and then the game just started losing its shit. You could either basically shoot a beam that would linger in the room, it would just damage things as enemies got near them, including bosses like Ridley Mother Brain, just constantly getting killed by them. And you had one where if you turn off the wave and turn on everything else, in certain rooms, you could basically activate what's called a space-time beam. Basically, in that glitch state, you could go save back your ship, and then when you start the game back up, it actually restarts the game, saving your time and all the items you got at that point. Meaning you can basically stack your upgrades, and it just looks insane. Holy crap. But every game since Super Metroid is made, so whatever upgrades you've got, you keep them all on. That's one of the things that makes the exploration with Super Zero Mission fun. Why do you force me to get all this stuff and keep it on? If that's how you're going to do it, fine. I'll find my own ways around the game to not need certain upgrades. I don't want those upgrades, so I'm not going to get them. Can you get through the game like that? You'd be surprised how much missiles and morph ball bombs can get you through this kind of game. You'd be very surprised indeed. And, well, we got Zero Suit Samus who's got 100% of the items. Just for getting 100% of the items, you get this ending. 2 hours, 15 minutes. Okay, that's what I thought. And, yep, 100% of the items. So, yep, you got a 100% ending for just collecting all the items in over 2 hours. If you can't tell, there are speedrun endings as well. There's 100% under 2 hours, which, if you can't tell by this, it's certainly possible. And all the screwing around I did adds time. Because I like to keep things not boring, you know. However, I think something else unlocks. Or not. Huh. Weird. Oh no, I think it's being on hard. I remember there was a sound test for this game too. I think I had to beat it on hard to unlock that. But yeah, just in case you're curious. Well, don't forget, at this point, you can start a new game. They highlight the difficulties you've beaten. With hard being, well, there. And easy, well, easy, basically, a lot of enemies are easier to kill, their strategies are easier. So, easy's not bad. It's just, you can only get one end screen for going through on easy. I'll do that on my own time. And hard, well, we're going to go over that next episode. And what fun it's going to be. So, for the rest of this episode, oh yeah, and just to show it off, yep, all the endings I've acquired so far. You just look at the endings you got here as it scrolls, press A to advance to the next screen. We got our completed the game between 2 or 4 hours without 100% items, completed the game in under 2 hours without 100% items, and completed the game with 100% items in over 2 hours. You just press A to keep cycling through them. You can press B or start to leave. So let me show off what it's like playing the original Metroid on the Game Boy Advance version Zero Mission. Oh, God, it looks terrible. It's stretched to hell, I can say that much. But, well, yep, if you remember the original Metroid, it's exactly that. They didn't really update it at all. But it's nice to, you know, I do like this game at least offered the original Metroid. For those that, you know, probably didn't play the original Metroid and were curious what the Zero Mission was based on. So it's nice for players who haven't played Zero Mission to actually get to look at this and, you know, see some comparisons and stuff. I do appreciate the option given to do that. But yep, it's nice to see the similarities in a lot of the rooms, if that's what you're curious about. But Zero Mission's definitely designed better. I probably should give my final thoughts on Zero Mission since I'm here. Since all we're doing is play the original Metroid at this point. But yep, it was a great showcase for why remaking the original Metroid was such a great idea. Because people felt like they wanted to get the whole understanding of the Metroid series, it would make sense to start with the first game. Unfortunately, when you look back at this, it's like, oh God, you want me to go back and play this? Oh no! It could be a very big turnoff especially for newer gamers. So, yeah, Sakamoto thought it'd be a great idea to, whoops, instead of just, you know, porting the first game over, expecting you to play that. With all the enhancements the later games have made, why don't we just, you know, make the first game over with some of the enhancements that the later games have been known for, making the ideal version of what the first game could have been, had we, you know, had the technology at the time. And, well, lo and behold, that's how we got Zero Mission. And he wanted to have more story cutscenes in as well, because he thought it was important, you know, have a story involved in the game to actually give you, like, you feel like you're connected to the character. I do like he at least thinks that cutscenes are pretty important in the idea of, you know, at least get you involved in the story. Something that Mario games could possibly take a note out of. I'm not saying you need to have cutscenes, but more story. The most we had was Galaxy 1, and, well, the most of all that story got was basically a freaking book you had to read. That's the most backstory you got in that game. There is one good thing about the Game Boy Advance version of this, though. Through Zero Mission, anyway. If you happen to die, oh no! Well, they give you the password. However, save your progress to the memory. Previous data will be overwritten. Continue playing. Basically, in this version, they give you the option to actually save those passwords. So you basically load right back up to where you were. Which is pretty nice. And they even give you the option to quit in case you die and don't feel like coming back to it. So yeah, it's at least a little more accessible when you die, but only when you die. So, yep, it basically does a reset and throws you right back to, well, the main Zero Mission game when you do that. But I'm going to continue. Right, I got to hit select to do that. See, it keeps your password saved. So yeah, at least you can properly use the save function instead of having to actually remember the passwords. Or just spammily entering the passwords. And yeah, it works. So, It's a better way to play this version of Metroid 1 than, well, most other versions if you don't have save states. It's better at least playing an actual NES version of this game. I'll say that. But yep, Zero Mission is definitely a fun game. It has its weird quirks that make it, to me, not feel quite as good as Fusion or Super Metroid. And, well, obviously, to me, Dread. But it's still a very fun Metroid game. And a great entry point. Because it's actually one of the easier Metroid games once you figure out what you're doing. And, well, yeah, it's definitely easier than Fusion, I can say that much. And, well, because of the fact it starts off the story, it's an ideal starting point to actually make it feel like you're gonna be contributing to, well, your understanding of the Metroid series. I think my first Metroid game was Prime 1. I didn't know much of anything when I played that game. I just saw the Metroids were a thing. And, well, I didn't even know until, like, my second playthrough of the game that Ice Beam works well in Metroids. Gee! Who would have thought? I thought power beaming everything would have been the way to go. Actually, I think even my first time in the game, I learned that plasma beaming everything was just a monstrous way to go. I will just burn everything to the ground. Because in Prime 1, you can almost do that. It's beautiful. Oh, God. Prime 1. Playing that game for the first time is so magical to me. That's why it's still my favorite Metroid game. Maybe a nostalgia is my first Metroid game, but you know what? I still have the most fun going back to Prime 1. To me, it was just so good. So good. Alright, I can't go to Morph Ball unless I'm on the ground. Good to remember that Morph Ball only works if you're on the ground in the original Metroid. But yeah, Super Metroid introduced so much, it was kind of hard for Fusion and Zero Mission to live up to it, I'll admit. And I still don't think they do, but, you know, you can always make the argument, really, for any of those 2D Metroids, which, of course, I mentioned, Remake to 1, this, Remake to 2, Samus Returns, and then 3 through 5. You can make a case for, honestly, any of those being your favorite, although if you said Samus Returns, I would have to question you a little bit, because, well, yeah, I just... Oh, what? I got killed by an enemy that was off the screen! Fuck you, game! Fuck you! Oh, such a dick. You'd have to make a case for me of how much you like Samus Returns more than the others. Because, first of all, Dread is automatically an improvement over Samus Returns, if you ask me. And two, saying it did better than Zero Mission, that is also debatable. Because... well, yes, it's still really hard to go back to the original Metroid 2. Samus Returns still has some of its own issues, and I could say it's because I haven't played the game a lot, but it's kind of hard for me to figure out how to get around. And honestly, I still prefer going through most of the other Metroid games. Samus Returns will always be the weird one that was an experiment from a third-party company, where Dread was the one they got it right. I'll have to go over that in detail once we actually get to Dread. Hopefully in a year or two from now. But yep, thank you guys for watching the entirety of Zero Mission. It's actually nice watching me play a Metroid game I'm competent in. I haven't gotten to see this since I freaking last played Prime 2. Because it's made me want to replay a lot of the old Metroid games I played on this channel. Because Fusion, I was a disaster. And I can do so much better now. Samus Returns, I could probably do better. Although... I didn't really become, like, a quote-unquote expert at Metroid games until after I got through, well, when I started experimenting, trying to go for the other endings of this game, and going for the, you know, basically challenging myself in Fusion, learning to speedrun that game, and then in the end tried to actually do a 1% run, which still hurts me thinking about to this day. And even though I did the Wii U eShop versions, I made sure I did not use save states. I tried to do those all natural. Because that's just the way you should do it. As if you're playing on the actual Game Boy Advance. I love the real torture. It's what makes the Metroid series fun. But anyway, yeah. Next time, we will be coming back, and, well, we're going to be dabbling in hard mode. If you can't tell from the things I've been talking about, we're going to be going through hard mode, and it's going to be a fun little twist to it. Basically, we're going to go after the last of the endings that I need. Not that I have all of them right now, but I'm going to get the other ones I don't have. But, yep. We're going to be going through searching for all the other endings I need. And, well, I'm going to show off basically a condensed run of the last one. Or an entire run, one or the other, but next week's episode is going to be a doozy. If you can't tell what it's going to be, I'll let you know now. We're going through the entire game again next episode on hard mode. And it's going to be fun and painful. So, I'll give you that warning now. If you guys don't want to watch me go through the entire game in one episode, again, then you might want to skip it. But, if you guys are in your run through here, I still hardly recommend this, especially if it's your first 2D Metroid. And honestly, any Metroid fan should still play this game, because it is the perfect starting point for the series, and well, it is still a solid Metroid game in its own right. Like I said, like, anything that's anything that's not Samus Returns, although it is still good, is a great or amazing Metroid game. Any of those 4 2D ones that isn't Samus Returns, sorry for dissing you so hard, is, in my opinion, amazing. So do it if you haven't already. Find a way to play it, because you can't do it in the Wii U eShop, you didn't buy it at this point. Sorry to say. But, let's have to think what game I'm doing after I do the next episode. We'll figure it out then. I'll see you guys next time for the hell that ensues.